rushing into towns like this so fast. For some, there was no escape. A massive search and rescue operation is underway in hard-hit Humphreys County, Tennessee, after flash flooding struck Saturday.
I call 911 and they tell me that I need to get to highest ground.
A record 17 inches of rain. That's about 1/3 of the total yearly rainfall in the entire state.
I heard pop, pop, pop. All these houses started moving.
It did more than swamp some rural communities.
Tells me then we had to start over.
In McEwen, outside Nashville, anxious residents waited to be rescued.
We were on the roof of our house and hoping that we were going to make it. We're alive. Thank you, Jesus.
In nearby teams are searching for the dozens of people still missing, including children. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee is touring the area this evening as volunteers from around the volunteer state
Hold on to me, Lakin.
What's your response to reports of Americans?
Hold on. Slow down, everybody. I want to talk about two things. First, Afghanistan. We couldn't have a higher priority right now, and in particular, our priority is making sure that we safely evacuate American citizens, Afghans who worked with us, Afghans at risk, including women and children. And that is one of our highest, if not the highest priority right now.
I cannot arrest all of us.
Okay. This looks like a U.S. visa. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar, if you get a U.S. visa, an immigrant visa in your passport, this is what it looks like. But this document has no name. It's not addressed to anyone. There's no serial number, okay, at the bottom, and there's no barcode. So thousands of Afghans received this. Basically, everyone who had applied for SIV, these special immigrant visas for the Afghan translators and other people, they received this email. And what do you think happened when these people received an email like this, a document like this, that has no name? Of course, they printed out 100 copies. Even the Taliban can't control, 2,000 or 3,000 people at the Camp Sullivan Gate when you have tens of thousands of Afghans who now have this.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
working together on the back of contact tracing information. Went to a home in southwest Sydney yesterday morning and found a person that should be there, wasn't there. They made a number of inquiries and not that long after, that person returned to the front of the house in a motor vehicle. That person was spoken to by police and ADF, was issued a penalty infringement notice, stated that he'd hopped in his car and went out for some fresh air and hadn't been anywhere else. But the point is that if you are going to behave like this, yesterday over 2,300 houses visited. If you're going to behave like this, if you're going to step outside the health orders, you will be checked on and you will get an infringement notice, and that person will continue to be checked on and make sure that they comply.
Providing great services to the people of our state. It's a service that we built up over 7 or 8 years now that is not just renowned here in Australia but around the world. And the quality of service that we provided over the last month is not up to standard. We are making headway in relation to the business grants, and I'll provide you with providing.
What can be one of the coldest places on Earth is on fire. Gigantic infernos burning across Siberia on an unprecedented scale, a climate catastrophe. The wildfires burning in Russia now are bigger than all the fires raging across the globe combined, bigger than those in the US, Canada, Turkey and Greece put together. This the view as passengers fly into Yakutia, a region 3,000 miles from Moscow. But in Siberia, before you can fight wildfires, first you have to get to them.
So we're driving out now, hopefully to try and reach one of the fire teams that are working near the village. We've got to drive over this dirt road. See, it's not really a road.
We are in the taiga, and it's not easy going.
So the bumper has just been torn off the car on this track. The car that went before us got completely stuck. So hopefully that isn't going to happen to us. Traveling in Siberia, you know.
Swarms of insects mean we need these protective suits.
Made it through that one. It's about 6 kilometers more to go.
We have come to Yakutia because it's one of the front lines of climate change. Much of the region is in the Arctic, and in winter it's one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth. But summers are warm, and this year is seeing an extreme heat wave and historic drought. One of the hottest, driest summers on record. 10 times more fires are burning than usual. Smoke from them has reached Alaska, and for the first time in history, the North Pole.
So this is where we were trying to get to, a camp where the guys are basically going out and trying to fight the fires. Say they don't have enough equipment. They have a tractor over there that's broken down because it doesn't have enough oil.
This group from Russia's Forestry Fire Service, known as Aviales Akhrana, have been here for nearly a month. It is a vastly unequal fight. They say they are short of men and equipment. Afanasi is one of hundreds of local residents who volunteered to fight the fires because of the shortage of manpower.
He's saying if the wind gets up, that will already start to spread all over the trees here. Within 10-15 minutes, it could be everywhere, really.
Я не припоминаю, вот 40 лет живу, не припоминаю, чтобы такой был пожар большой.
The team's main tools are digging trenches and controlled burns like this.
Так бы ловим. Загоняем обратно кракена в клетку.
But there is only so much they can do.
То есть вон, солнца не видно.
Да.
Много очень работы. Не успеваем, народу немного, а площади большие.
When the wind gets up, the fire spreads rapidly. Here, another group forced to retreat. And this is what happens when the fires get past the teams. The flames engulfing this village. Over 30 buildings destroyed. Only burnt-out cars and smouldering rubble left. The record drought fueling the fires has been linked by scientists to climate change. And the change in Yakutia's climate is already visible. Parts of Siberia are warming twice as fast as the rest of the world.
The smog's really bad this morning. You can really feel it in your eyes and in your throat.
People have spent nearly a month struggling in the dirty air.
Уже утро, днем не выходим, утром только, днем как сказать, в доме сидим вообще. Дышать трудно. Много дождей было раньше.
И сейчас?
А сейчас вообще дождей нету. В этом году вообще нету.
All this smoke is a problem far beyond Russia. The fires are releasing record quantities of carbon dioxide. This year, already more than Britain's entire annual CO2 emissions, based on an estimate by a European Union agency.
You really feel the scale of the fire here. This whole area burned only about 3 weeks ago. You see, just as far as you can look, it's all blackened and burned.
With increased temperatures now believed to be inevitable, Yakutia's massive fires are likely to only get worse. Scientists say another sign of how fast and how drastically the planet's climate is changing. Patrick Reevell, ABC News, Yakutia, Russia.
څنګه دوی دلته راوړل نو پیسې ته لکه ولې داسې موټر درځي لاله یو ځخ وکړي نو یو ناره وکړي مجاهده